Okay, can everybody hear me?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. All right. So aloha mai kako, mahalo nui a kako a Pauloa for joining us here today for our Keala Kupu journey. A reminder to our haumana, we do ask that you stand as you join us in Oli while continuing to keep your microphone on mute until asked to unmute yourself for discussions later in the program. Each Oli will be led by one of our alakai. No matter where you are in the world, as we Oli together, we are as one. The Inoa Keala Kupu honors our current era of transition and acknowledges that we as people are forging a new path, embarking on a new chapter in our lives, and celebrating the reawakening of knowledge, connection, and transformation that is innately within us. We hope sharing this cultural practice creates a space for us to explore these traits within us and bring a sense of healing to all involved.
Aloha mai kako, this is Dolly. The haumana or the students of the School of Social Work refer to me as Kumu Dolly, a role that I respectfully accept and acknowledge and honor at this time. You know, you just never know, things can change. You plan, and you just gotta pay attention to what's happening now. So kalamai if things kind of get shifted around a little bit, yeah? So I just wanted to share that before we actually get into our ceremony today, that at the beginning of the year, I had a hoailona or a message or a sign. And unbeknownst to me and knowing what the bigger picture was, it had something to do with what we're doing today. And it's not your traditional ceremony, but it is a special time. It's a very special time. And during this time, there's a lot of stress, there's a lot of anxiety, there's a lot of fear. And whether we know people that are experiencing even more stress and fear and dealing with the current issues of today, we all collectively came together in this time to honor and respect the people that are, have really made strides in accomplishing what they're accomplishing today. And that says a lot, for all of us collectively, whether you're participating in this ceremony or you are observing from afar. And that says a lot, because now our space, our physical space, became an expansion. So the space actually expanded, and it's all over. I mean, across the state of Hawaii, and now even further if you're not even from Hawaii right now. And I mean, it's just amazing what we can do nowadays, So not doing this in the traditional sense, which Lilino explained in terms of the title of our ceremony today. But culture doesn't stop. Culture and language doesn't stop, no matter what happens. Yeah, it continues to grow, it continues to move. And what I'm trying to say is that it keeps evolving. And the weaver continues to weave. They take care of their plants, they take care of their tools in order to weave. Lomi practitioners continue to practice their practice. And during this time, it's about enhancing what you know and making it even better than what it was. And so things just keep on evolving. And I just want everybody to know that. So what is this time actually causing us to do? It's telling us to pay attention and look inside ourselves as individuals, honor the gifts and the talents that are innate within us. It's causing us to look deeper look deeper into yourself, but also deeper into situations and other people and what they're doing. I mean, everybody's covering their face. The eyes are left. When do you stop looking at the surface and going a little bit more deeper and understanding genuinely who these people are, you know, because we're connected. It also causes us to pay attention to the now, because everything is Ike Manawa right now, this time right now. And that's what my kupuna, that's the sense of time that my kupuna, that's just how it was. And I want to mahalo Mike DeMatos for actually reminding us recently of what that means. And if you're in control of the now, then that's where you can heal. If you look too far ahead, then, you know, you can get anxieties, yeah? You know, you might be too anxious about things as you're trying to plan far ahead of you. When you kind of focus on the past behind you, well, if you kind of stay there in the past, right, you might have regret and go into a depression, yeah? So what do you have control over now is the present time. And that's where we are right now, okay? So with all that being said, there's going to be a lot of oli, a lot of sharing of leo, our voices, a lot of our mana, and the very essences of who we are. And, you know, with the students, we've actually talked a lot about, well, recently we've talked about mana, your divine energy. We talked about ha, your breath, makia, intention or focus. And all these things kind of combine together, which is actually us, things that are innate within us, yeah? And, you know, just paying attention to that, because that is right now in you, yeah? And so I just wanted to kind of remind, and you know, some might be a little skeptical about this and be like, how's that gonna work, you know? Well, through those things, it's gonna work. And as Papa Awai, one of our La'au Lapa'au, you know, Hawaiian traditional healers who work with herbal medicine, you know, he said that La'au, or the plants, are just 10% plant. 90% is in the pule, or in the spiritual part of it. So I want everybody to keep that in mind, no matter where you're at. And how is this going to work? It's going to work through all of us and through the intentions that you bring. And with that, we will go ahead and start our ceremony. And we're going to start with 3 oli. One, so in the normal sense, we would normally go ahead and bless our space, our physical space, but now our space is actually expanded to all over, yeah? So 3 oli that I'll do for our homana, for our students, no matter where you are, they you know, got together in their own space and took care of their own space and where they wanted to do their ceremony. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do an oli for your aina, because you always have to remember our aina and help kind of clear that space. Even if you live in a complex building, an apartment building, still yet that building is connected to the aina. So we're gonna do a blessing for the aina. We're gonna do a blessing for your space, where you're at. So coming into where your space is. And then the last one is normally done with vai, but my kupuna is telling me that we can do it with voice and mana. And this will be for the actual person that will be participating in the ceremony. And keep your focus intent on what's going on and just be with it. You don't have to understand the words, but just understand that it means more than what is being presented, yeah? And so with that, we'll go ahead. As we do each oli, we ask that everybody stand to respect and revere that time and what we're doing. For that, I know. He akua, he pulia e hola ia nai ka poi no ka aina, a me ka palea e pau ko ka aina mia. He pulia e ho pau ana ina he wo ka aina pau. I pau ke e a me ke wakawau, I pau ke mulopia me ka pereluka. I pau ka ulia lana, laila ni ho peku, ho em, ui kala malapakai, ka mauli ho I ke akua For your space. He umu ia mai ka po mai e na ia mai na wahia pau ko ka ko mai luna lalo mai ka hiki mai ka hiki na ke ko mohana mai kau kai ke kai mai ko aho kia ia mala mai ia e pale aku ina ko o pilikia na I ko ka ko hia pau mama wano and for Hamana. Hey, kaleo akeola. Oki kahamia pale na pilikia pau. E olano
E ho mai ka ike mai luna mai e. O na mea huna no eo. O na mele. E ho mai. E ho mai. E ho mai e.
Ho mai ka ike mai luna mai e. O na mea huna no eo. O na mele. E ho mai. E ho mai. E ho mai e.
O mai ka ike mai luna mai e. O na mea huna no e au. O na mele. E o mai, e o mai, e o mai. Nā aumakua mai ka la hiki a ka lākau, mai ka hoʻoku I a ka hala vai. Nā aumakua I a ka hina akua, I a ka hina alo, I a ka akau I ka lani, o kiha I ka lani, o wei I ka lani, nunulu I ka lani, kāhole I ka lani. E ia nā pula a oko, nā koa hoʻokau like o Martin B. Thompson School of Social Work, e uli I ka lani, e uli ka honua, e uli ka pai aina o Hawaii. E ho mai ka ike, e ho mai ka ikaika, e ho mai ki aka mai, e ho mai ka maupopo pono, e ho mai ka ika pāpālua, e ho mai ka mana. A mama, ua noa.
This only I decided to do it's a wisdom chant, and just to kind of remind our Hamana, our students that are graduating, and anybody else really, to continue to seek that knowledge and that wisdom. And so I honor all of you by sharing this with you. yo we, kue manue. Ke alakne kapulia hakalau. Ulia kalania uliana we. Kane luna kane hilalo kakau kahema. Uma kania ikalani he kai kalani. Hawila nui make hai kalani. Ane ikalani e ola ke kanaka. Oh my kalue akai ke tamana ya e kaulwala. Oh ahalawali o kahiwai huwai kawaulelo. Eli kaumai. Oh mama wano.
Tūnihi tamono talai e, o ai ale ale la I wai lua. Puki a la I kalani ka papa au ai o ka vai kini. A lai ia e lai no nalo ka ipu haa ka laula moko ka paa e. Mai paai ka leo, he leo ka hea mai e.
Ai ke kanaka e komalo. E hana ia e vai ka waha e ia no kaukulau ka leo. A he leo vale no e.
Next, we'll offer Oli Como and Mele Aloha, written by two alumni of our program, Brandy Alkai and Kelly Ann Beppu, under the guidance of Kumu Randy Fong. It is incredibly important that we acknowledge those who came before us, bringing their mana'o and their ike into our spaces in reverence and respect. Oli Como captures the essence and the beauty of Manoa Valley, while Mele Aloha was written in honor of our school's namesake, Myron Pinky Thompson, who loved his people, his culture, and the ocean, in which he used as a common thread to unite all people. Ke veli na maine ke kini, hali ia ke kaukani, pai ka watua hine. E ia hoi ke a nue nani a ka halo puna. He mai, wau mai la ka hale aloha. Aloha e, aloha e, aloha e.
A ke a kamamoana nui. Ho'olalani ia o iwi kua mo'o. E pūlama I mo halana pua a ku I ka mana. E kupu aliko ae, e ulua o la mau, a kau I ka pua ani ani. E o la mau ka la hui.
So this picture is a picture of my kihe, and I'm actually wearing it today, but it would have been a little difficult for me to show you, so we took a picture of it. And it's nothing fancy, very simple, and it was pre-kihe ceremony time with the School of Social Work. So, which meant it came out of the Hawaiian learning program that we did have at the School of Social Work. Very simple things that, we did this with Auntie Malina Kaulukukui and Auntie Lynette Paginoan. Uncle Keke was there as well. But just wanted to share because we are going to start breaking up into breakout sessions soon. But my kihe, it symbolizes things like, so when you see the circles on my kihe, I use the maia stump. So the banana stump, it's symbolic for me, of, life, that things are continuous. It keeps going, everything's connected. So for that, that's what I used, and I didn't really have an idea of what I wanted to create really when I did this. The wavy brown, kind of mountainous kind of shapes, those for me was symbolic in terms of the aina, the environment, the elements, all of these things around us, where we live, pretty much. The other thing that you don't really see is the whole entire white space of my kihe, which is continuing to be formed. And I left it that way for a reason, because that's the extent, that's where creation is. Things can happen, in that space, and it continues to grow. And, it's just something about the simplest ideas, the simplest things can mean the deepest things. That's pretty much what symbols are. And this is what is on your kihe, all these symbols of what this time is for you. What does it mean when you wear this kihe? Yeah, that's special to you. And in years past, the kihes were not made individually. Yeah, they were mass printed. And this year, all of you decided to make your own kihe, special to you. And that's amazing, because then that's unique to you and your gifts and your talents and your experiences. So kudos to all of you for what you have done, to capture this moment right now in your kihe. Yeah, so I just wanted to share that as we get into our breakout sessions. Yeah.
Mahalo Kumu Dali. I'm going to take it from here, I believe. Yep. So, hey, scholars, now we'll randomly organize you into several breakout groups so you guys can briefly share about your experience. Your alaka'i or leader will provide 2 prompts for you, which we'll also provide in your chat box. We may have up to at least 6 people in your group or so. Remember, brevity is a leadership skill. So just be mindful of the time, as we only have 15 minutes to allocate. So the first prompt is, what does your design or designs depict? And then second and last, how do you feel this kihe experience has helped you to reflect upon your educational or personal journey? And so I kindly asked faculty and other staff to potentially co-facilitate if there is not an alaka'i assigned yet, as we'll be floating around the room. The alaka'i will be floating as there's a limited amount of us.
Okay, we're going to go ahead and open up the rooms then. In just a moment, you should see an opportunity on your screen to join a room. Please do so now, and we'll be back in 15 minutes. Mahalo. And for those people joining us on our live stream, we will be coming back to our groups in approximately 13 more minutes. Mahalo for joining us this evening, and we'll resume the live stream. And again, 13 more minutes. Mahalo. But I'll tell later.
Kanela,
Okay.
There's been a little drama already.
you didn't want
I'm
to
gonna-
join a breakout group?
I'm gonna move you guys into the other breakout rooms.
Okay. Aloha.
So what room are room?
Okay. Tisa, did you want to join a breakout room? You didn't want to join? Are you having? Are you talking to me? I cannot hear you. Oh, I think you. Tita, can you hear me?
I'll unmute her. She doesn't have a microphone on her thing, so I can't unmute her actually.
I don't think she can hear.
We're gonna. For those of you joining us on the live stream, we're going to be coming back from the small groups in approximately 6 more minutes.
Okay.
And then we will reconvene the ceremony. Mahalo.
Sorry, my internet kept, Zoom kept kicking me out since 4:30.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
Just know that we're still live streaming, so anything that's said is going to go to both YouTube and Facebook.
Okay.
We'll be coming back to the rooms, or the large room, in 5 more minutes.
So, okay, cool.
She's in. Again, for everyone joining us, we're going to be closing out the breakout rooms in approximately 3 more minutes, and then we'll reconvene the ceremony. All for your patience. And aloha everyone for all of you joining us in the live stream. We are going to go ahead in just one more minute. We'll be closing the rooms, and then the attendees, the graduates, will be joining us back, and we'll reconvene the ceremony. Mahalo again for joining us. Happy to have you with us today. Okay, for all of you joining us in live streaming, we're going to be closing the breakout rooms and our attendees will be coming back. This takes about 60 seconds for everyone to join us back in the main room, and then we'll reconvene the ceremony for tonight. Mahalo. And for those of you who are coming back from the breakout rooms, welcome back. We will reconvene the ceremony in just a few more seconds here as everyone joins us back in this main room. And Linda, when you're ready, you can go ahead and reshare your screen. Again, welcome back, everyone.
Yeah, excuse me. Thank you for joining us again.
Okay,
I hope.
Viola, we're still waiting for people to come back. Sorry.
Okay, and thank you for that.
Just a couple more seconds.
You on it, Keola, you on it.
10 more seconds and the rooms will all be closed. Everyone will be forced back. Just a few more seconds, and Keola, go ahead and take it away.
Again, thank you so much for joining us as a big collective. I hope that each and every one of you had a chance to share. We had less groups than I expected, so I hope you guys did have that time. And if you want to share more in the future, please contact us, and maybe we can see if we can put on some kind of other opportunity. So moving on, now we would like to take this opportunity to give a mahalo to our kumu, our ho'okele, our navigators, as we navigate the waters of academia, empowering us to seek knowledge beyond what is offered in our texts. This includes all faculty, instructors, field instructors, and anyone else who has positively influenced us. Na ike kumu, look to the source. In these unprecedented times, these times of transition, we look to you and we mahalo you as our sources of knowledge, our sources of mana, and our sources of ike. Kumu Dali.
Mahalo. Okay. So, usually in years past with our kihe ceremonies, we've had our kumu tai our kihe, which brings me to the hoilona, or the message or the sign that I had at the beginning of the year, that this is not going to be your usual kihe ceremony, and our hamana, our students, are going to tie their own kihe. What does that mean? So before we move forward with that, I can't emphasize enough how much we need to honor our kumu, our teachers, all the people, even if they're not officially your kumu, but they pass knowledge on to you, honor them. Always remember, those things that you remember. Oh yes, I remember where that came from. It was my teacher that shared that with me. You always want to honor them and the ike that they passed on to you, because that came from them. It could have came from their kupuna way back. Yeah. So it's a way of respecting and revering who they are and where they came from. Yeah, just like how we're doing today. We continue to respect and revere who you are as a new social worker, yeah, coming out. So we always honor them. You know, it's the things that our kumu have done. I mean, amazing. It's not just book knowledge that they pass on to you. They pass on their experiences, their beliefs, their knowing, you know, all they combine it all into all this knowledge that they pass on to you. You know, so it's not just knowledge, you know, it's so much more than that. Yeah. And we are grateful for that. I'm grateful for that, you know. Some of the same teachers I've had are still there. I believe that, yeah, that I've learned from in years past. Yeah. So we honor you. And even though you're not here, we're not in the same physical space for you to be tying the kihe on our hamana, our students. We still honor you with our words, the very essence of us and our aloha for all that you do and you continue to do. So mahalo. And with that, I will share an oli mahalo for you at this time. And this is an oli mahalo that comes out of my halau mele, from me and Mari's halau brothers, Kalama and Hanale. They created this oli mahalo, and it's not really explicit, and it doesn't really say mahalo, but you know the actions within the oli is saying mahalo. You know, thank you so much. I'm in gratitude, and I appreciate you deep, deep, deep down. I kulani ha ko I ga olu e kau mai ga wa mo ke kule ana ha ave vele ia ka ume ke ie ga wa koko le wa ka pui loko ne aki ke pa mo hiki kua ia ka ipu pa ve ai luna piano ke o pu ha e vai e kaule kau amoe hapai kau pono e aloha I ke aloha. Mahalo. With that, now we come to the time where we will, our hamana that are participating in the ceremony, we're going to start to with the tying of our kihe. And just remember, you know, as you're taking this kihe, you are accepting all the experiences and the ike that was brought forward to you during your time in the School of Social Work. Yeah, remember that. It's all combined in this kihe that you're about to tie on yourself, which means you're actually taking that kuleana or that responsibility to take that forward. Take it forward in your practice as you help other people. Yeah, you take in all of that, symbols upon symbols, so many symbols. You know, everything is a symbol. My lepo'o is a symbol. You know. The things I wear, symbols. So, and it's always a constant reminder, yeah, of who we are. So focus on this time as we're tying on the kihe. Honor every single piece of what this means for you. You know, because basically this is you and where you are, yeah. Where you at today? It's a snapshot of where you are today. And just amazing. I'm trying to hold back my own tears. It just means that, you know, take care. You had an intent with this kihe, yeah. though it wasn't intended to be used as a tablecloth, you know, wasn't intended to be a window covering. It wasn't intended to be a pareo when you go to the beach. Yeah. Remember all of that mana, all that energy you put into it. And remember what mana is. It's more than just energy. Yeah, it's a collective energy from way before you, from all your ancestors, all your kupuna from way back. Yeah. So honor this time. This is for you. And the kuleana, or the responsibilities you're taking on right now. And let's do it. Okay. So makakao. Makakao. Can you hear, everybody hear me? So when I say makakao, it means everybody's ready. And everybody's gonna get into their positions right now for this time. Igapa no e I ho olu I ho o ka kua ia pa hiluna o ka imu ka ao ka palio ka vai ka he kuina pa u palino kupeho I holoa pa ia Pa'ai hono kane. Hello. And just so everybody knows that, so I honor my halau and the kumu and the ike that this comes from. It comes from Kumojan Lakes halau on Oahu. And this is how I've learned it as I continue to learn Oli. And I just wanted to make sure that I acknowledge the kumu, you know, the legacy of the kumu that I wasn't able to meet physically, but I feel so dearly within my heart. And it's found through the hamana and the students that he taught. And it's always important to honor your kumu, even if you never physically met them, because they're still there. So mahalo to Kumu Lake for this. And my kumu in Halau Mele, who I hold a special place in my heart. Mahalo. Okay. So we're coming towards the end of our ceremony, our time together. You know, I just wanted to mahalo every person that was able to come together to bring this idea, this, you know, to bring this creation together as one, yeah. Mahalo to each and every one of you, whether it was small, whether it was really big, everything is equal, you know. Every little piece is important to what we have done and brought forth here for all of you, for all of us, you know, many lessons and reflections that we need to do during this time. And I'm sure even after we close, there's still more aha moments we're gonna have, yeah? And why do I do what I do? My intention is always with aloha. Always with aloha, and that's one of the things I actually remember Anake Lynette reminding me. Always with aloha, no matter what. I was fortunate enough to learn more about aloha through Pono Shim, who is the great nephew of Auntie Pilahi Paki. And to understand what aloha really means. And you know, learning Ho'oponopono through Auntie Lynette and Anakala Likeke really reminded me of what all this means. It just reminded me that lokahi is a real thing, you know. And as Auntie Pilahi said, it was never broken. It was never broken. Lokahi harmony, balance was never broken. It was always one, always. And so when you hear people say, we are one, that's what lokahi is, unbroken. And you know, all this ike from all of these kupuna, very special. It reminds me that connection is important, even in a time when we are physically not together. We can still feel the mana from each other. We can still do things in a different way to help keep others safe, you know, during this time and in other ways, yeah. Aloha doesn't stop. And it's the love that I have deep down within me from all those that have shared their experiences and their knowledge with me. You know, I continue to take it forward no matter what. And I pass that on to all of you to remember aloha. And when you feel like you're not in a space of aloha, do something to make you feel gratitude. That's the reset right there. Yeah. It's a good way to bring you back to compassion, appreciation, and just gratefulness, you know, in your heart. Because that's where it is, in your heart. We don't talk about that too much. One of the things I shared with the students was that we think too much sometimes that we forget to feel right here. We have to balance what that is, you know. Knowledge is good. We learn plenty, but don't forget to come back and remember what's in here and feel what things are. Yeah, feel it. It's there. You just gotta pause. You gotta pause and figure out what that is and what that means. So all of this, I do an aloha for all of you. And as a closing, I'll do a one oli, and it's a pule mauriola, so it's a health chant. And our kupuna would always do that here in Hawaii. You know, kupuna would always do it all the time. You know, and a lot of halaus do it. You know, they share this oli. You know, and like Kumu Lake would share, as I shared through my current kumu, that you can't get enough blessings. So oli pule all the time. Yeah, you can't get enough of it. It's always needed. Yeah. So with that, I will do this one last oli and we will take a break before convocation. And if you know it on your end, it's okay, even though you're muted, to do it with me if you know it. Yeah. So I will do Okaola for those of you that know oli. Okaolai keabua enanamai gaumau hula hula E ola kaniko aha makaiole akalalau hala akauwi kapuane ane halai galave aku oia ke alu ke ae. Two claps. Send it off. Mahalo to all of you.
Mahalo nui kumudali for just being such an inspiration and guiding us through this time. We cannot thank you enough, and we could not have done this without you. So mahalo. I wanted to ask you guys if you guys would stay on, and I'm going to stop screen share so we can take a like some group shots.
Also important, if you're not sharing your video camera right now, to please share your video camera as we get the pictures ready to go. And there's multiple screens for us to have to go through and take these screenshots, so please allow us a couple moments to get that done. But we're going to go ahead and get started now. We got one, and here's one more. Maybe we should take extras just for fun and such. Okay, one more, and then we're all good with this. Yay. Okay. Thank you all for joining us. We'll be concluding this part of tonight's celebration. Please join us again at 6 o'clock for Convocation. For all those that registered, you should have an email with the link for the 6 o'clock Convocation ceremony. Mahalo.
Mahalo, everybody.
Mahalo.
Hello, everyone.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Mahalo.
Oh my kai. Oh my kai. Love you, Dolly. Thank you.
I love you.
Thank you, Dolly. Love you.
Bye-bye.